GOP rejects millionaire tax pitch, advancing breaks for rich Americans. House Republicans rejected a push by some allies of President Donald Trump to include tax hikes on the rich in sweeping legislation that passed last week, a decision that could carry repercussions into the next year's election. The legislation House Republicans approved last week extends tax cuts Trump signed into law in 2017, cutting rates across income groups, including large benefits for Americans who pay the highest share of federal income tax, those in the top 5% of the income distribution. The measure excludes a millionaire tax and other proposals to raise taxes on top earners pitched by Stephen K. Bannon, the president's first-term chief strategist, and other allies of the president. The Senate could make further changes, but Republicans in the upper chamber are expected to prove even less likely to back higher taxes on the top income bracket, several analysts say. The issue may help define the upcoming battle over the GOP's key legislation achievements ahead of the 2026 midterm election. While Senator John Hanley told reporters last week that Trump is still pushing legislation to raise taxes on private equity groups, the GOP is poised to largely reprise the strategy of his 2017 tax bill, which the party struggled at times to sell to voters the following year. Democrats attacked the legislation as skewed for the rich and won control of the House in 2018, but efforts to reorientate the GOP around a more populist policy program this year appears to be stalling. So what people need to understand with this is that if the big, beautiful bill passes, if you make less than $30,000 a year, which is 60% of the American population, let's just say that, your taxes are going to go up about $1,200 to $1,600,000 a year, and so on and so on and so on. While if you make, over $250,000, you'll be fine. You're going to get more money. So what they're doing, they tried to make a tax where, because they said that's why everything's so bad now, that, because they don't tax the rich. And that's where the gap comes. That's why, your prices, everything's going up and all that stuff. The country could be fine. Think about it. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world, and he lives in America and doesn't pay any taxes. You know what I'm saying? But you, on the other hand, you pay taxes on everything you touch.
We all know that where this is headed, this new bill and the whole entire tax program is flawed. Actually, taxes on people who are making $15,000, they go up. That's less than $15,000. They're going to go up. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be a lot, but you're taxing people who are poor. This is what this is about. And the tax rates for everyone else who are probably making less than $250 are going to start going up over a gradual period of time as well, too. It may resume. What they're going to do is they're going to hold on to the tax cuts that we got now. And then they're going to start to chew into those tax cuts because they're looking at it's inflation, so we have to tax more X, Y, Z. This whole entire bill is flawed, because it's skewed towards the wealthy, and it's going to add trillions onto the deficit, which then turns into inflation, which then chews into the money that you have anyways. We just saw this when he had a tax cut that we saw the money, but we didn't because of inflation. It's going to come. You have to pay you got to pay the piper at some point in time. And we pay the piper through inflation, and inflation is way more than a little bit of tax cuts money that we're getting. Why don't we tax the wealthier people like we have in the past, so we can grow a middle class again in this country? That's the problem. We can't grow a middle class in this country until we start shifting the wealth away from the wealthy until the people who actually need it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying be socialist and do it. There's a better way to do it. You can do it by taxing these people. You can do it by making them pay their fair share or even more, because they're making good money. These guys, we got a guy who's worth $400 billion right now. That's never happened in history except for with Mansa Musa. Never. When he was a king who owned everything that he surveyed. You know what I mean? Yep. So that, so this, we're in a very, very volatile time that we need to take caution with. Because this is either going to tip and go all the way their way, which it is right now, or we're going to balance this out and have a better union and have a country where everyone can have medical, everyone can have education.
I don't see that happening until the current administration is overthrown for doing too much and attacking everybody. Because I'm not saying I'm asking for that, but it's looking like that's how it's going to have to happen, because they're going to squeeze everybody. Everyone's getting squeezed. That's what's happening right now. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I told everybody this. I said, when the summer hits, you're going to see what kind of country you're in, right? It's getting a little warm outside, isn't it? And you're seeing how the world's ending up right now.
What do you say? What do you say? We don't get any wars underneath him. Look what's going on in the Middle East right now.
We already bombed the
economy's great. Look what's going on with prices right now. You know what I mean? Everything he says tends to be lies.
No, he don't. He had to say whatever. Look, this man had to tell you whatever he had to tell you to stay out of jail. And now that he's not going to jail, he's just like, I'd be like, look, you have a choice. You go to jail or you become the most powerful person in the world. So now I'm the most powerful person in the world. I'm going to flex on everybody. I'm going to do what I want to do because he's going to die in office. Am I saying he's going to die in 4 years or with it? No, he's not leaving. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's anything on this show I've said that hasn't come true. Let me tell you about what's going to happen at Christmas on our next episode.